All right, ladies and gents, welcome to today's video. My name is Taylor Betude. We're going to talk about running for 200K MRR. This is one of the goals that we have this year is for our agency to cross over the 200K MRR, which means monthly recurring revenue. And as of right now, I mean, like this month's revenue for April, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be May. Our revenue in April was about 115,000 in revenue, which is an all-time high for us in terms of monthly revenue, and the profit margins, we're still trying to aim for something above 25-30%. That would be great. Now, in the process of scaling to this level, you can imagine that it's not that easy. So here's what I think the major bottlenecks are going to be and have already been so far based on the first 3 months of this year, almost actually 4 months of this year. As we're recording this, it's April 30th. So the most obvious one we've experienced is hiring throughput. We were very limited in terms of our abilities to hire great talent quickly. Our throughput of our hiring, system in itself was at one point probably over 60 to 70, 80 days, where it would take almost 3 months just to get one person hired. Obviously, that's an issue if you're going to want to scale from 100 to 200 in less than 12 months. We at least need to hire specifically an account executive once every 2 months at a minimum. And if you don't even factor in the amount of time it takes for them to leave their current position or for them to get trained, ideally, we're hiring somebody every month to every month and a half, which sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's somewhat becoming the new normal. And so a lot of my time this first quarter of 2021 went to improving the hiring throughput. And that means different things, such as, one, building a fantastic landing page that will convert very highly for the specific role that we're looking to hire for. This is something that I spent a decent amount of time building because this is the primary role that we are hiring for a lot every 2 months, it seems like. And this one pager, which we built in Notion, basically explains the role, but you can think of this as a landing page which is designed to convert talent. And a conversion on this landing page would be simply them applying to work with us, clicking the apply here button. That is what would be considered a conversion. Sorry, not clicking it, but actually, getting an application. And so I spent a considerable amount of time building this thing because what we have on our website kind of sucks in terms of explaining what the role is, why it's great, why it's good enough to where they should leave where they currently are. So when I went into fixing the throughput of hiring, at least in the beginning, the first thought was, well, we don't have any good resources. We don't have a good landing page that will convert great talent. Great talent won't even be able to really understand what it's like inside of Better AMS based on our current job descriptions, based on the way we have things set up. And so that was the natural progression in terms of the first thing to build. Next, what came was, okay, well, we need to actually drive more traffic in terms of we need to get this resource with this landing page in front of more people. Driving traffic, pretty simple. We hired another recruiter. It's not going too well with the second recruiter, but the first recruiter we have is still amazing. And we launched Trojan Horse Recruiting, which actually, believe it or not, I swear to God, we sent one Trojan Horse video for Trojan Horse Recruiting to one person who was in our database that looked really damn good. And this person, I shit you not, last week has just signed to our company. So that video I made, which was kind of a joke, talking about the 100% call booking rate or 100% success rate of Trojan Horse Recruiting, is actually now true. And we do, in fact, have 100% success rate with Trojan Horse Recruiting. But we hired recruiters. We built an internal recruiting system, which basically is a mutated version of Trojan Horse Recruiting. And we have developed a very good hiring application, basically landing page, you can consider it, that will convert talent at a much higher level than whatever was possible before. So that was the first thing, and this was very painful, very, very painful, and I think it's been fixed. We've hired 2 people. The next person starts in about late May. Very exciting. Here's the second thing I think is going to be a challenge for us, and it's never been a challenge, and partly because our team size has never been huge, but talent retention. So retaining this talent that you're hiring. The more people that you hire, the more likely you are to lose someone. And holy shit, when you lose someone, I cannot imagine the amount that sets you back. Especially if you're churning through talent every 1.5 years. Like if your average medium tenure is 1.5 years, dear Lord, it's going to be so hard to scale your agency. I cannot imagine losing someone and then having to hot potato all the clients off of that person onto someone else. Not only do you lose time and energy from losing the person that you just trained, but you lose, potentially clients that person was managing, that person developed relationships with. You potentially, then hurts your team morale because that person had great relationships with other people in the company. Maybe that person was a high positive energy in the team meetings, in the retreats, etc. It's just a very interesting second order consequence that will naturally begin to occur, the act of losing people, as you begin to grow your agency. It's never happened. We've never had anyone leave in the history of Better AMS, partly because we've never gone for extreme scale like we have now. So that is going to be a very important bottleneck, and we're trying to work on improving our culture. We're trying to make sure that we're giving our people everything that they could possibly need to be able to succeed in their role, and so that they can continue to progress. And as our company progresses, if it progresses rapidly, we'll be able to have rapid role progression internally at Better AMS as well, which is an important part of why I think it's important to scale quickly, is so that people can continue to advance and we can give not just 2 to 3% annual salary increases, but sometimes 10, 20, 30% if someone actually has done very good work, and we can do that because the company has grown significantly. So yes, talent retention is going to be a big deal. Another thing we did for talent retention recently, we came back from Miami. We had a leadership offsite, and we decided we would buy everybody iMacs. Not only is it just an investment in our people, but I think it's much needed. I think a few people on our team need it in terms of like their productivity and output will be, a lot higher. But also it's just a cool thing that I think will continue to separate us from other agencies who aren't willing to spend the money to invest in good equipment for their people. And it's a good little surprise. So that was fun to announce that on Monday this last week. All right, the third bottleneck that is starting to come on our radar is increasing the MRR per account executive. You could think of the account executives in our company as the people who are actually managing the clients and doing the deliverables and different things to make sure the clients are, getting great results, etc. And so every account executive manages a certain amount of clients, right? Let's just say it's on average 10 clients. And let's say that the average client is worth about $2,500. Well, that means that the average MRR per AE is about $25,000. I believe in our company it is somewhere around $23,000 is the average MRR per AE. Now, here's why we want to increase it. Because as we scale, as we roll out more benefits, like a new iMac for every new person that we hire, or an annual company retreat, a mid-year meetup where everybody meets up and we go to a trade show, like we're planning to all meet up and go to Vegas, investing in software. The more things we do that like this, that are outside of our core thing, which is just Amazon advertising, the more our expenses will rise naturally and the greater our margins will begin to deteriorate. And then it'll be slower to build up a very good runway, which we want to build up, which is about 18 months of cash. And so the only way to combat this is to increase the MRR per AE. The other thing is, naturally, salaries are increasing. So you have salary, raises going up, salaries of existing team members going up every single year. And as that increases, your company has to scale with it. Because if salaries go up 20%, let's just say it's a very high increase by the end of 2021, but your actual company year over year only grew 10%, your margins are going to be affected heavily. And so as the benefits of your company and the salaries increase, so does your profit margins, to be able to counteract that, to be able to maintain high profit margins. So it's an interesting paradox, offering more benefits and trying to build a much better culture and investing in things like meeting up with your team and IMAX and things like health insurance or dental insurance, things that we want to offer. It costs money and it doesn't, bring any value to the clients and drive any additional revenue. The additional revenue it does drive is increased talent retention, which, so it's more of a long-term play, but something that's on our radar. And then the final thing is leadership alignment. If any of you run an agency with more than 15, 10, even 10 people, and you've already somewhat developed your leadership team, it can get pretty hectic, and we seem to have an issue where, we just need to make sure that we're always highly aligned on what we're doing and how we're moving forward. It seems like quarters will go by like that and things will just move very fast. Time will progress very quickly. And so just making sure that we're meeting up at the end of each quarter to plan the next quarter is what we've found to be the most important thing that we need to do to maintain high alignment within leadership. So we found these 4 things to be the primary bottlenecks, the big obstacles in terms of crossing this bridge of reaching 200K MRR. I'm sure we'll run into others, but I want to make a major call out here. Above 100K MRR, I have put the word marketers, and above 200K MRR, I put the word operators. Now, some of you guys know I've talked about Sam Ovens in the past and my experience in his programs. There was one thing he said which always stuck with me, and I never fully understood it until now. He said, to build a 7-figure business, you can be a good marketer. But to reach 8 figures, you can no longer do it as a marketer. You need to evolve into an operator. An operator is someone who is fantastic at basically systems thinking, people management, operations, strong integrators, people that can make sure that the systems within the machine, within the overall system, are running well. And this, although we're not we're still 7 figures, I think within the agency business model, which Sam was not talking about when he made that quote, this runs very true for going from 100K MRR to 200K MRR. This is kind of like the major step into you need to master operations and become a very good operator, because agencies are just very people-oriented businesses. When you have lots of people, there can be lots of communication creep. There can be lots of different complexities and unseen second-order consequences that begin to really affect you. So becoming a master operator, I think, is really the theme of this year. Although I would love to invest heavily into marketing, I think it will continue to be a predominant theme of investing into systems building, better training, better culture, better management of understanding the machine and how it's running. One of the things we want to build is a very good God view-like dashboard of our agency and all the different important KPIs. So we have, the abilities to be proactive in hiring people, the abilities to be proactive in kind of forecasting out retention and lots of the important things, like, are we going to lose someone internally? Are we going to lose a client? What's this person's capacity? Can they handle another client? Imagine a dashboard that always told you how many clients you could take on right now before everyone gets maxed out. And it's kind of like a speedometer, and it's in the red zone and you're redlining. And if you keep redlining, you're going to blow up the engine. Something like that. So it tells you these important KPIs that will give you a very good pulse of the health of your business and what moves need to be made next to continue to make the machine, run faster and more smoothly and more efficiently. So, ladies and gents, that is a absolute brain dump on running for 200K MRR. It's going to be an amazing journey. I'm very excited to look back on 2021. I don't want it to go by too quickly, although it seems to be going by very quickly. And so I will continue to update you quarter by quarter. Quarter to date, the MRR record that we have broke is 115, 116. So we're about 16% there. And I think that we'll really pick up speed in the next quarter, which will be very exciting. So, all right, ladies and gents, that's it. There's only one thing I ask. If you hit the subscribe button, if you enjoyed this video, hopefully you found some value in it. Sometimes it can feel like I'm just kind of ranting, but I do my best to put some structure into these. All right, much love, you guys. Hit the sub button, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, ciao.